everybody, and thanks for joining us again on the Real Estate Drive-Thru. We're your hosts, Ryan and Shubha, and we're here to answer all your real estate questions in under 3 minutes or it's free.
Thanks, Shubha. Today's question comes from Rob, and to answer Rob's question, we brought in a special guest, Erik Fraser from Neal Mara Fraser Law. So why don't you Rob's question was, he's wondering a little bit more information on land transfer tax.
Sure. Land transfer tax is a tax payable to the government of Ontario when people buy property. For instance, land transfer tax, as an example, on a $150,000 purchase would be $1,225. If your purchase price is higher, you're going to pay more land transfer tax. So on a $350,000 purchase, your land transfer tax would be $3,725.
Okay. So Erik, I understand that there's some exemptions available for first-time homebuyers on the land transfer tax?
Definitely. In and around 2008, the government of Ontario set up an exemption for first-time homebuyers up to $2,000 off of the land transfer tax.
Well, I know when we're talking about first-time homebuyers, especially with the home buyers plan and withdrawing RRSPs for the down payment, a first-time homebuyer is defined as somebody that hasn't owned property in 5 years. Is that the same in this situation?
Not at all. The policy behind the Ontario government exemption was to encourage people in Ontario who had never owned a home before to be able to purchase property and save some money.
Okay.
So the people have to have never owned property anywhere in the world. If they own property in South America, they won't qualify if they're trying to purchase here in Canada. As well, if their spouse or common law partner has owned property, they may not qualify.
Now I know in Toronto they have an extra land transfer tax. Is there an exemption as well for first-time buyers for that as well?
Yep. Toronto has what's called a municipal land transfer tax. Now that's an additional tax in the City of Toronto over and above the Ontario land transfer tax. It's very similar in terms of the calculations for a land transfer tax, and the exemptions are similar. There are some slight differences.
Okay. Now, is there any other rules or regulations they should be watching out for when trying to find out about land transfer tax?
The big one would be people shouldn't assume that they qualify for the land transfer tax exemption if they have a married spouse or a common law partner and the other married spouse or common law partner has owned a property in the past. If that's the case, they should definitely speak with their lawyer to determine 100% that they do qualify.
Well, thanks, Erik. You've given us some great information, and our viewers can see that it's not all so black and white. Is there anywhere else where our viewers can go to get some more information on this topic?
Definitely. The viewers can visit my website. I've got a blog on my website where I wrote an article that has 6 different examples of how the Ontario land transfer tax exemption will or will not apply, and that can be very informative. Beyond that, anyone who has any further questions can feel free to contact me directly.
Awesome.
Great. So thanks, Erik, for joining us today. Hopefully that answers your question, Rob.
Thanks for joining us again on the Real Estate Drive-Thru.
See you next time.